Hello and welcome to round one at the Superside FIM Sidecar World Championship. Coming to you from sunny Spain, we are at the circuit of Aragon. 6 left, 7 right and a balmy 36 degrees of track temperature. Warmer than it was in qualifying when we had Stenhauser and Clues getting pole position. Paravinta and Hani were in second, Hot and Becker lining up third on the grid. Delanoy, Lavorel, then the Birchall brothers in a borrowed sidecar outfit in fifth. Behind them it was Laurie Neve, Markula and Cartela, Zimmerman and Ecker. And lining up at the back of the grid, Kirchhofer and Burker together at the back in 16th position. So 16 outfits lining up for this first round of the championship. The sun beating down on top of their heads, but good track conditions, lots of rubber having been laid down, and that is our poleman Steinhausen alongside him, Paivarinta and then Hock outside of the front row. 3-2-3-2-3 is our starting grid here, different from any other motorsport world championship. Wait for the red light to go out. Watch those cars go, and it is great start from second place. Paravinta and also Delanoy jumps up into second briefly early on, and they will in fact sweep into the lead. So it is Delanoy in the number 11 car who is got the lead early on ahead of Paravinta. Just behind them there, Laurie and Steinhausen, the Birchall brothers, in about 5th position, which is where they started. As we end lap 1, it is the number 44 of Paravinta who is up into the lead already. Steinhausen down in 4th position. The 11 Delanoy in 2nd, but here comes Steinhausen and Block up into 3rd and then straight into 2nd. So past 2 people down the straight there. Lots of speed coming out of that BMW powered car. By the back, we've got Grasmuller, Makula, Kenthrop, and Kirchhofer is bringing up the back at the moment. And running wide, we got a running wide, that is Hergot, I think, who's got some sort of technical problem. No, it might be Kisa. Yes, they've got some sort of technical problem and they are out. Back to the front, the leaders flash through. Paravinta is now got to hold off Steinhausen, who's made it up into 2nd position that lap earlier, and is now challenging to down the straight. He's got a draft, but has he got the inside line? No, not quite. Okay, in running wide at the first turn there for Paravinta, and losing a fair amount of time. Very close at turn 1 between the carts for 5th and 6th position. Legs coming off the side as they sweep in that flip-flop left and right. Hergot and Puyot, they're running in 15th place at the moment. The number 17 car pulling up the back of the grid. So not a brilliant opening to the championship for them. They've already lost quite a lot of time, not running the sort of lap times they need to get. Off we go. They're running about a 2:20, but we need much quicker than that. A 2:08 is the fastest laps for the leaders so far as we cross the stripe. That's lap 3 down, and we still have Paravinta in the lead. It was that start that did it. Slight problems on the start for Steinhausen. I've dropped them back, but these two are already pulling away from the chasing pack behind them. The car on the move there is Hot and Becker, who have moved up into 4th place now, just behind the Birchall brothers, who are holding station in 3rd at the moment, just keeping their noses clean. This is a fight further down the grid. Already losing a lot of time on these guys. There again, the number 17 Hergot car just bringing up the rear of the field at the moment. Nice paint job, but not a lot of speed in them today. Here is our one ladies team that is racing. Kirchhofer and Burka, who were started last and are still on track, but not quite challenging at the moment. Back to our leaders. Paraventa still leading. Steinhausen and Kluz, close as they have been. Then behind them, Birchall's doing all they need to hold on to third at the moment. And here we go. Will this be a move into turn one? Very, very close. Steinhausen got so close there and still managed to hold a tighter line. He's got so much front grip. Paraventa has been saying all weekend that he's lacked front wheel feel and therefore grip. And it seems to be hurting him down into turn one and also into that final turn. Birchall still leading the fight in third position. Hock is now behind them. Laurie has dropped back a little bit further with his co-pilot Neve. And the field really starting to spread out now as we cross lap 4. There's quite a big difference between the top and the bottom end of this field, but they're all trying equally as hard. One more lap for the ladies' team in the race. Kirchhofer and Burka keeping pace, but not managing to challenge right at the moment. They're running in the mid-220s, which isn't quick enough to challenge. About 3 seconds off the pace of the next cart. There go the Birchalls. The number 16 cart is them, chased by the number 12, driven by Hock. And it is pretty close here, just as close as the battle for third as the battle for the lead. And the passengers getting so far down to the side. It's a difficult turn because it's so fast, a lot faster than it looks. Number 13 of Zimmerman, just a little bit further back, down in about 8th place at the moment. Dirk and Kolsch running in 11th. And the number 55 of Ramsey in 13th position, just behind Rutz and Hofer. Once more, a run down the order. It is Hergott, and then Kirchhofer will bring up the 15th position behind them, just a few seconds down the road. The leaders are starting to bring their lap times down now, getting down into the 2:07s, 2:08s. Pace starting to build. These two just seem to be playing a little bit of cat and mouse at the front. Paraventa is just maintaining a gap of about 0.3, 0.4. Finnish rider just holding off as he needs to. Get the feeling that Steinhausen could go a little bit quicker, but just can't quite find a way past. Perhaps he'll wait till later in the race when the Finnish drivers' tyres start to go off a little bit. Delannoy and Lavorel, who are in 6th position at the moment. They're behind the battle between Birchall and Hock. They've dropped back about 18 seconds back. Behind them, Zimmerman and then Makula have got a good run going on. Behind Makula, it's Kentrop, and they've closed up. That is the fight on the track at the moment. And just a few seconds behind them, about 55 seconds back already from the leaders, is the number 55 of Rutz and Remsi, actually. Rutz is just in front of them, 3 seconds down the road in front. Rutz and Hofer ahead of Remsi and Biggs. Then Hergott and Puyot dropping back a little bit further. 1:14 already the gap between them as we cross lap 7. back once more to our ladies. Ponytail flying in the wind, but head down and focused on getting the most out of this car. Lap time improving slightly. They set their fastest lap on lap 4, and they just nearly matched that. 1/10 slower, or 2:24.9, but they're still off the leaders, who are running now down into the low 208s. Just had a 208.055 there for the leaders. Paravinta still just holding on. There's nothing to separate these two, and it will come down to the last couple of laps before we see a move being made. The number 72 of Laurie in 4th position. It seems that they've dropped off the back of the Birchall brothers. Yeah, they are. Birchall's already out of shot, and Laurie is having to settle for 4th position at the moment. But we've got a bigger fight behind them. It is Kentrop, Makula, and Grabmüller down the inside. Number 12, Hock, just going for it. Almost makes it stick, but doesn't quite do it. So Hock trying to make up spaces, but doesn't get there. Leaves us with the 56 car of Rutz. Dropping back further, 109 behind the leaders now for Rutz. Hock and Becker will be disappointed in their fight for 4th position. They wanted to be closer to these guys at the front of the race, but they had to change their engine after Q1, and it seems to be doing better, but it's not really giving them the speed they need at the moment. The speed is definitely in the hands of Steinhausen and Klutz in 2nd position, just stalking the leaders at the moment. Behind them it is the Birchall brothers. That's Laurie and Neve, who are in 5th position, just about 30 seconds off the pace of the leaders at the moment. The number 11 car is Delanoy just behind them. Then you've got the 13 of Zimmerman, and then we've got a pass. The number 12 car of Hock gets past Makula, so Hock has made his way through. Past Makula at the back of that group. It is Grabmüller and Kantrop just in front of them in the blue. Number 99 is Makula in the light blue car. The first of the light blue bikes even. Then Rutz and Hofer, number 56, the bright yellow bike. Sliding in behind them in 11th position at the moment, but dropping back between 5 and 10 seconds per lap on the leaders. Remsik just holding it out in 12th position at the moment. And back with the leaders. It's close once more, runs it a little bit wide in that final turn. Does Paravinta, but gets it back on course. Pins the throttle. Gets it up over that rise and down the slight decline into turn 1 where it picks up again. Oh no, looks for the inside. There for the 2nd position, Steinhausen bike, but not quite, but still manages to hold a tighter line and get a better run through turn 1 and 2. So there's more grip in that 2nd placed car. Birchall brothers on their bike, their borrowed bike, in 3rd position. Borrowed it from John Luysen, because theirs broke earlier and they needed to be here to race, and to get 3rd position in a borrowed bike is an outstanding result so far, but they're not there yet, and there's still a fight here. The number 97 just moving past the number 11. So Delanoy is dropping back actually through the pack quite quickly. Do they have a problem? They drop back now behind Grabmüller. So they may have run off track when our cameras couldn't see. This is as close as it's been for the leaders though. Over the stripe one more time. Here we go, down the inside. Is this the move? Yes, Stenhausen takes it, gets a great run out of there, but down back the inside. Here comes Pavarinta, back up the inside. Nicely done, just pushes it out wide, blocks the line, returns the favor, and there is nowhere to go around the outside for Stenhausen. Pavarinta gets it, maintains the lead, but you can see now that that is what we're going to see. That was a dry run, I think, from Steinhausen and Klutz. 49 car, Kirchhofer, still running. Just under 2 minutes behind the leaders now. Number 12 car is in 10th place at the moment for Hock. Moving up, actually. Ahead of the 13 of Zimmerman, who's dropped back as well. So Hock is now actually up into 5th position, Zimmerman in 6th. And then the 11 car of Delanoy is behind them in 9th position. All change in mid-pack. Remse still bringing it together in 12th. Minute and a half behind the leaders. Sidecar Team Racing Rutz, number 56. Just ahead of them, 1 minute 20 behind our race leaders. There is Remse, still within a shout of catching the car, the bike in front of them, but there's not a lot of time to go. And we've got a change for the lead. We've got a change for the lead again. So Steinhausen has managed to get past off camera, and Pavarinta is fighting back. So Steinhausen made the move, perhaps at the end of the back straight. Maybe when they were trying to get past back markers. The Birchall brothers still in 3rd position, but have lost touch completely with the leaders. But they'll be happy with a podium position in this first World Championship round. We've got 7 more after this, stretching across Europe. All coming to you from some of the best racetracks in the world, accompanying some of the other great series run by the FIM. The number 12, Hock, has made their way up from that awful start, well, difficult start on lap 1 when they dropped to 6th, and then they dropped all the way back down to 8th position, worked their way back up into 5th, behind Laurie and Birchall. Number 99, bike of Makula, sitting in 8th position. Not much time left in this race to make a difference. Behind the 99, we've got Delanoy in a 10th position. Grabmuller between the two of them. And still there, Rutzenhofer. 1 minute 28 now, the gap to the leaders. As we cross the line for lap 11, we're coming round towards the end of lap 12 now. And it is Steinhausen who's still got that gap. The gap is about 0.7. They've opened it up a little bit. That could be the difference. Squeezing that most they can out of that BMW powered bike. It's giving them the edge at the moment. The same chassis setup, but different engines. Oh, and just lifting the wheel there. But pushing to the absolute maximum to pull a gap out on Pavarinta. It is starting to work. They pulled out 0.6 in that lap. They pulled out another 3 seconds on the Birchalls, who seem to be fairly happily cruising now in 3rd position. Taking fairly conservative lines, just getting the bike to the end of the race. Hock in 5th position. Co-driver Becker. What could they have done if they'd had a better opening couple of laps? But they did get messed around on the start and in those first few laps. Really set them back. Could have been on the podium, but they wouldn't have challenged these two teams. Great driving from Steinhausen, as expected. Just squeezing the most out of that and pulling the gap out. Now it's up at 1.4. So it's over a second now, a second and a half really. Giving them a little bit more breathing space, and the co-pilot just looking back. Knows how much of a gap there is. Don't have to worry too much. And you can see now it's 3 turns difference between the leaders and third place, the Birchells. Really 2 different races going on here at the moment. We will see more of them later in the season once they get their own unit back and out on track. And Hock is still continuing to catch Laurie in front of them. Actually, this could go down to the wire. They know they're being caught, and Hock has increased his lap times. The gap's closed down to just about a second now. He closed it 4 seconds on that lap, so it's only a matter of time. Surely we'll see him pass on this lap. And the 61 fighting together. The 81 even Grafmuller and Kentrop. And behind them the 99 of Makula. Grafmuller holding the lead in that 3-way battle at the moment. But 3 seconds separating those units. But the lead outfit still Steinhausen and Klutz. But they've lost a bit of time on this lap. It's dropped down to 0.3. 0.3 the gap, and it is not over yet. We've had a rally from Pavarinta and Hani, and they are closing. This is not done. Perhaps we missed a mistake there from the leading outfit. They definitely got more pace through turn 1 and 2, but they're losing it somewhere else on the track. Oh, lifts the inside tyre really high. Oh, and they touch, they bang as we head through this final flip-flop. And it looks like they've just managed to hold on to it. Yes, Steinhausen has just held on to that as we come over the stripe to take the checker flag. It was all in that final turn. Steinhausen just holds on. Pavarinta went for the move, but just a big bang, and it wasn't to be. It's not easy to pass a sidecar, and it was proven there. So Steinhausen and Klutz just hold on to take the victory. The number 55 will come home in about 12th position, but that is a lap down on our leaders. The Birchells will come home in 3rd position. So to confirm, Steinhausen and Klutz, Pavarinta and Hani, the 2 Birchells, Hock and Becker did get past Laurie, and Neve for 4th position. Grace Muller, Kentrop, Makula and Dalalov, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. And in the championship, obviously it is Steinhausen who wins and gets 25 points and a great start. The German and his French co-driver for this championship.